but they went on too fast. 9 years ago, I sat in a seat to the far left back corner with my sister, Alexis Romano, and one of my friends, hey, you can cheer for her.
Yeah, girl, Alexis!
At my very first isogenic celebration in San Diego, California. And I remember sitting there thinking, where are we going to go to dinner, and are we going to meet any guys later? I could have cared less what any of the trainers on the stage were talking about. And I remember walking through the convention center of San Diego, California, and there were life-size cardboard cutouts of the leaders with incomes by their name that made me feel so uncomfortable. And I thought to myself, this has to be a hoax. Like, what has my sister gotten me into this time? What is this? I think she just said, come to California, and I went. All of a sudden, we were in a room full of people. And today, I stand here on this stage 9 years later as one of those cardboard cutouts, a top 25 income earner of this company, and I'm here because my drive and dedication to learn all there is to know about this incredible business of network marketing! And I want to welcome every single one of you here today, no matter where you are in your isogenics journey or your life journey. And I want you to think about for a minute, what do you want to get out of our next 2 days together, or even in the next 30 minutes with me? Why are you here? Are you here because maybe your coach said you'd have FOMO if you wouldn't be here? Maybe it was peer pressure. This is a safe room. Or maybe you're like me, you're more concerned with hanging out in Nashville. And that's okay. But honor yourself for being in these seats. Honor yourself. Give yourself a hand. And I want you to take a minute to think about where your belief is. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your belief in network marketing the business?
10!
Or where is your belief in this amazing company of isogenics? But most importantly, where's your belief in yourself? Because I know 9 years ago, my belief was far from where it is today. And I remember hearing the words network marketing, and I was like, I just have this weird feeling, like network marketing. Does anybody relate to that? But even though my belief wasn't there was something about events that made me keep coming back. Because it's been at events like this, it's where I've had my biggest breakthroughs. It's been seats that you're sitting in right now. It's where I've met some of my best friends. Who's been some of your best friends here in Isogenics? Make some noise. Guys, it's been at events like this is where I've given myself permission. Everybody say permission! To play big and grow. Not just for myself, but for other people as well. So when people say missing events are not an option, they're saying it because they care and because it's the truth. And I definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the courage, the vision, the guts, and the drive in a space of a business that was already overcrowded because they said, no, we can do it better. Give it up for Jim, Kathy, Cooper, and Eric! How amazing were they last night? They're just so heartfelt, and I'm just so honored. My family and I are just incredibly grateful for you guys. Now, before I go on, do I have your permission to keep it 100% real with you guys for the next time we're together? Yeah. And will you keep it real with me? Yeah. How many of you are putting food on the table with a full-time job other than your isogenics business? Yeah. And how many of you love what you do? Yeah, you love what you do. And how many of you that love what you do feel that you get properly compensated for it? See, I like literally love being a fitness dance instructor. It is in my blood. I love teaching class. Is there any fitness instructors out there? Any dance instructors? Yeah. See, but at my first place of learning how to be a fitness instructor, I was there for 7 years. I started off making $17 an hour. 7 years later, I was at $19 an hour, big $2 raise. They wouldn't allow me any more money for a raise. I wasn't allowed to teach any other than the 3 classes that I had a week, and I wasn't allowed to teach anywhere else. Does that sound like somewhere I can grow? They put a cap on my income, and they put a cap on my passion. Now, how many of you feel underworked or overpaid? Does anybody feel underworked or overpaid? See, this is the thing. Some of you feel overworked and underpaid, yet you're still gonna show up at a job early, you'll stay late, you'll take your work at home, it cuts into family time, but we do this because it's safe and it's comfortable. It gives us benefits, a steady paycheck, pension, vacation time. Can anybody relate to this? Yes. Yeah. You know, when they called me a month ago to do this training on network marketing, after the shock of how many people would be here, I was so excited because I find myself all the time saying, oh my gosh, this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for network marketing. I wouldn't have had this experience if it wasn't for being an Isogenics. If it wasn't for network marketing, I wouldn't have learned how to react that way. I wouldn't have connected with this person. So I'm so excited to share with you about some of my favorite things in network marketing. There's so many incredible benefits of network marketing. Can you guys agree? Yeah. And I'm just gonna highlight some of my favorite. So, I love that in network marketing, we're celebrated when we put forth the effort and people seeing you doing your best. I remember when I first rank advanced, there was a speakerphone filled of people from corporate screaming just because I was doing what I was supposed to do. I don't remember ever getting a high five from my boss for showing up for work. And I also remember paying off my student loans at 35 because of network marketing. And yeah, thousands upon thousands of dollars I paid off. And there were crickets. And I remember saying to the guy on the phone, can I get like a blowhorn or something? I literally just paid off my student loans. I love that in this profession, we get to choose who we work with. How many of you guys would love to get to choose who you work with? See, I didn't always get to do that, and I'm a really hard worker. I was a bartender for 10 years. Are there any restaurant people in the audience? And some of the people I worked with didn't work as hard as I did. And in my last bartending job, we had to do something called pool our tips, which means we had to share our money. And it didn't matter what bar you were at or how much your bar made. So I remember in August, I would always work the upstairs outside bar. Has anybody ever been to New Jersey in August? It's hot. And I remember working the upstairs outside bar. We'd have to set it up, and I would grab the buckets of ice and like go up the 3 flights or 2 flights of stairs. And there would be the male bartender in the upstairs bar, which is nice and air conditioning, and he was like leaning against the wall watching sports or something. He like never even asked me to help. So at the end of the night, when his bar made $150 and my bar made $300, I had to share my money with him. It like killed my soul. That was my hard-working money. Now, in network marketing, I get to work with people who are just as hardworking, just as passionate, and it makes me want to work even harder. Personal development. How many of you, and I want you to make some noise, feel like you are a better person since being in this company and in this business? Have any of you ever been assigned personal development for your job or for your workplace? Have any of you ever remembered being told that you can be, do, or have anything that you wanted? See, I didn't know about personal development when I first came here. I mean, I knew about like the self-help aisle in the bookstore, but I didn't know about podcasts. I really wasn't reading books or anything like that. And when I came into network marketing, it was you can be, do, or have anything that you wanted. And I remember my very, very first Isogenics event. It was in Philadelphia at a hotel room, in a really small. And I remember everyone smiling at me, and I thought that was really creepy. I just didn't understand why everybody was so happy. I didn't know you. I think my sister got me there by saying we were going to dinner. You can coax me with food any day. And there's something that I'll never forget. It was Jimmy Smith, wherever he is. He stood up in the front of the room, and he said, "The only way to fail is to quit." And it like hit me. Because, yeah, he's amazing. We love Jimmy so much. And it hit me because, guys, I quit things my whole life. When it got hard, when it got uncomfortable, when I thought someone was doing it better, I didn't want to quit this time. So that was a game changer for me, and it just always stuck with me. So thank you, Jimmy. And personal development, it doesn't make you a better person just in this business, but in your whole life. So with your relationships, in your workplace, you show up differently. Community. How many of you guys love community? Make some noise if you love the Isogenics community! Community, a place where people are passionate about the same things you're passionate about. Where they support you, where they're real and they're grateful. Now, who has something that they love to do outside of Isogenics and outside of their full-time job? What are some things you love to do? Golf. Okay.
Mountain biking.
Mountain biking. Are there any Zumba lovers out there?
Zumba.
Who was at the fundraiser this morning? They're all over there, apparently. I learned that network marketing allows you to be authentically yourself, do what you're most passionate about, and create a community around it. Guys, community to me is everything. Everything. I've created community, I've lost it, and then created it again. And what I had found with this business is I can do what I'm most passionate about, which is dance with other. I love it. Yeah, we can cheer for dance. I can create a community around it. I tie in what we do with Isogenics, and I get paid on top of it. So again, doing what I love, creating community around it, tying in Isogenics, and we get paid. So for those of you who said you love golf, you love mountain climbing, or whatever it is for you, you could do the same thing. You know, I could probably be here for another half hour talking to you about all the things that I love about network marketing. But in the beginning, we said we were going to be real with each other, right? So I want to be real with you. This, just like anything else, it's not always going to be easy. And just like life, it's going to be hard. See, not everyone is going to want to hear what you have to say. In fact, a lot of them aren't going to want to hear what you have to say. But there are ones who will. You very well might talk to 20, 30, 40 people, and you might get one person that is excited to hear what you have to say. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Because sometimes, guys, you're going to put forth the effort, and you're not going to get the return right away. And that sucks. And you know what else sucks? When you first enroll in this company, in this business, and you think your friends and family are going to be excited for you and support you, and they don't. And not only that, they bash what you're doing and they hate on it.
Yes.
I remember my parents thought my sister was crazy. I actually thought she was crazy, but I mean, here I am. It sucks when you do your very first home party, and my sister was doing the presentation. It was my very first one, and my best friend, she stands up in the middle, and she says, "Wait a minute, I know what this is. This is that thing where you can only have 6 almonds. I did this and I passed out." I waited until she left before I started crying. It sucks when you start posting positivity on social media. You're doing transformation pictures, quotes, and you go to message your friend, who was your friend before you started and you can't because they blocked you. And then when you see them in person, you're like, what's going on? She was like, I was just so tired of you thinking you sounded like Dr. Phil. He was like, I'd much rather Oprah. It sucks when you start talking to someone and you're talking to them for over a year. You give them samples, you bring them to the events. They are so excited to enroll with you. And you see them enrolled with somebody else. It happens. It sucks when you're working with somebody shoulder to shoulder, like the very first person who said yes to doing this business with you. How many of you guys remember the very first person who said yes to doing this business with you? Woo! I was like, you really want to do this with me? They go to the events, they start building their business, and they become really successful. They even quit their full-time job. And then life gets in the way. Because life's going to get in the way. Someone's going to get sick. You might get sick, you might have a breakup, and this person let life get in the way and they quit their business, and that sucks. And it sucks when someone says you're in a pyramid scheme. Has anybody ever heard that before? And said what you're doing is not going to work? And I remember, I never heard the word pyramid scheme before, but it just like didn't sound right, and I called my sister. Clearly worked very closely with my sister. All of these examples. I'm like, Lex, someone just said we're in a pyramid scheme. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds really serious. And I just realized that I didn't understand what a pyramid scheme actually was, so it was my opportunity to become educated. So, I want you guys to grab a pen right now really quick. Grab a piece of paper. I'm not gonna ask you to sketch anything too serious. Draw a triangle. Now, if you were working at a Fortune 500 company, where would the CEO be in this triangle? At the top. Where would all the mid-level management be?
In the middle.
In the middle. And where would all the hard-working employees be? Right. Now, the chances of the hard-working employees making it all the way to the top and earning that amount of income is slim to? No. Yes. And I'm not disparaging anyone who is in this type of company. I'm just showing this for teaching purposes. Now I want you to flip the triangle over. You are the CEO of your Isogenics business. This is your company. Look at how much room is at the top. Now will everybody want to get to the top? You think everyone's going to want to get to the top of your triangle? They're not going to want to. But is there room for everybody who wants to? Yes! Because this is an equal opportunity, and the best thing about it is your coach is going to want to get you to the top. See, in other companies and other businesses, or even things that I've done, when you started to become successful, people were mad or jealous, or they didn't want you, they didn't support that. But here, you're supported when you're successful. I have never had so many strangers support me in my entire life. Make some noise if you feel supported in this place. And you know, as much as these things suck, you know what sucked even worse? When I was standing behind the bar at my last bartending job, and I put it on a calendar, Sunday through Saturday, I was adding up how much money I made for each place that I worked at, how much my bills were to see how much money I had left over. It sucked when at 32 I was still borrowing money. It sucked when I couldn't spend time with my nephews because I was working all the weekends. So, as much as these things that I just went over suck, and they're gonna happen, guys. They will happen, I promise you. But I found that there are opportunities for us to learn. So when my friends didn't support me in the beginning, I found that it was an opportunity for me to realize who my true friends were and to know that there would be so many more people out there who would support me. And it allowed me to work on forgiveness. And when someone said I was in a pyramid scheme, it just allowed me time to educate myself. And I also realized this. You can't have success without the suck, guys. It's just not gonna happen. I want you to say it with me. You can't have success without the suck. I made sure I could say that word before we did this. All right, I wanna just share a story with you guys. 5 years ago, I moved to California. You guys been there? It's amazing. I lived in Marina Del Rey. I was on the 16th floor of my apartment. I could see the marina on one side, the beach on the other, and every day I woke up, I could not believe this was my life. I had the most amazing time there, experiences. I went to a different coffee shop. I met so many incredible people. Now, does anyone know why I moved to California? Can you take a guess?
Weather. Palm trees.
Weather.
There are three words. I wish I could actually hear what you're saying. I can't. So there's actually three words, and they're really powerful. These three words are why I moved there. These three words literally changed my life, and they could change yours, so I want you to pay attention. These three words are changing my life while I'm standing on this stage right now. Get your pens and paper out. Leverage and residual income. Leverage and residual income!
Yeah!
Because of leverage and residual income, I could literally pick up from New Jersey and move to California and fly home whenever I needed to. Because of leverage and residual income, every single celebration, I am able to rent out a hotel room for 90 minutes and allow all of the proceeds from that class go to charity. Because of leverage and residual income, when one of my best friends was dying of cancer, I could help her with her bills and give her 5 children isogenic food. Because of leverage and residual income, I was able to assist in retiring my parents and helping them with their bills when their health is declining right now. Guys, it's real! It's real! Are there things that you want to do right now that you're not doing? Are there people that you want to help? Do you want to know how I utilize leverage and residual income? Yeah. I want to share with you when I realized the power of both of these. Have any of you ever been accused of being a workaholic? Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. I had 7 W-2 forms in a calendar year. I never had less than 3 jobs. I worked between 2 counties. I had clothes in my car. I changed in my car. I'm a hustler. So when network marketing came into my life, I didn't do anything different. I just worked. I worked every day consistently. It wasn't anything different. So the first time I understood leverage and how it led to residual income, my last bartending job, I had what was called shift pay. So I would work 12 to 5 and we would get $50 automatically, and sometimes I would get extra tips. Now I lived an hour away from there, so I would drive an hour home, 7 hours, and then in between, so 7 to 8 hours for that $50. And I'm a hard worker. Now, I'm working my isogenics business, It's about almost 2 years later, maybe a little less. I go to sleep. I wake up to my very first isogenic cycle. Yeah! One cycle, you need to set it. You can cycle 1 time, you can cycle 250 times. I slept for 7 to 8 hours and I made $54, yet I worked my tail off for 7 to 8 hours and I made $50. Which would you prefer? That was the first time. The second time, working my isogenics business, we're like a few years in now, and I'm cycling, and I know I'm really close to a rank advancement. And it's a Sunday, so we all know cycle week ends on Sunday, right? I'm in a movie theater, it's January 2013, and I actually don't remember what movie, but I vividly remember this because I had my phone by me, and I know I shouldn't have, but I knew I was rank advancing, so there it was. I looked down at my phone, 20 cycles. 20 cycles! Guys, do you know what that means? It's full-time income. I had never experienced that in my entire life, and at this point, I was 33 or 34 when it happened. Full-time income. I thought I hit the lottery. I remember I took people out for sushi on Monday. Sushi Sit-ins was there. I really felt like I was the richest person ever. I kid you not. I kid you not. And those 2 moments were game changers for me, guys. They were everything in me understanding how this business worked. Okay, now, I know some of you right now, you hear leverage and residual income and it means nothing to you. And it's okay, because that was me. For so long, I remember saying to my sister, is there a glossary for network marketing? Because I just don't understand this. Like, I really just didn't understand leverage, residual income. I want to ask you a question. Which would you prefer? 100% of your own efforts or 1% of 100 people's efforts? Which is going to make you go further faster? And not only that, guys, don't you want to do things with more people? Isn't it fun? Isn't network marketing and Isogenics fun?
Yes.
I only, like 3 people think it's fun. Perfect. Good old Aaron. There's a reason why they say teamwork makes the dream work. When you go further, faster, you go with everyone. This is when I realized how to leverage off of other people's efforts and then leveraging off of yours. Now, this is where I got lucky. Because I was in a company that had an incredible compensation plan, exceptional leadership, amazing training. You saw all of them on the stage yesterday. How incredible are they? Because I was in this company, the one that you're in right now. Guys, if this is your very first network marketing company, make some noise. Consider yourself lucky. We are in not only the best profession, guys, we're in the most amazing company, and I didn't believe it for so long. There's nothing special about me, except that I worked really, really hard. Tap the person next to you and say, you're lucky. I'm lucky. Tap the person next to you and say, you're lucky.
You're lucky. You're lucky, buddy. I know.
Now, here's where luck really paid off. Remember, I'm the person with 7 W-2 forms. This is where luck really paid off. The harder I work, the luckier I get. The harder I work, the luckier I get. Say it with me. The harder I work, the luckier I get. Leverage and residual income is not an entitlement. It's not a post and pray. It's not a wish and wait. You have to put in the work. Some of you guys are putting one post on social media, going to one event, signing up one person and saying, this isn't working after you stop. It's just like the gym. You can't just go for a week and then stop for 3 and expect it to work. Let me ask you a question. For some of who earns residual income outside of network marketing, real estate, benefits, is it safe to say that it took you time? It's going to take you time. Are you willing? Are you willing to put in the time? You can have a baby in 9 weeks, right? Wouldn't it be nice if we could? I wanted to show you this is my lifetime income earnings of Isogenics, and I felt like this was really important to share with you. Now, not everyone will experience this, and remember I put in the hard work. Look at my first 2 years. $500, $800. Even my 3rd and 4th year, guys, I was about thousands of, I didn't get to full-time income probably until year 4. But even if I stopped at year 4, because I've actually had people stop at full-time income in my business and quit and let it go to garbage. Look at that, the income growth. Where do you get that? Where could I have gotten that income growth? Could I have gotten it at the first instructor job where I was teaching at $17 an hour? You get that here. See, in network marketing, they told me, do this and I'll help you get paid, but we're so used to saying, learn and then earn. We're so used to doing work and then getting paid. And this is the thing, I was doing it consistently every day. It was weird, it was awkward, I was getting on 3-way calls with strangers, but I did it, and I put in the work. When you do this business, residual rewards you. And as soon as you get out of your head, this could be your track. Now, I know some of you right now are thinking, can I really do this? Is this real? You look at the trainers up on stage, you compare, you're like, of course they can do it. Of course she can, of course he can. That was me. I remember my first Isogenics event, I met a chiropractor and he was earning 6 figures, and all I kept thinking to myself, of course he earns 6 figures, he's a doctor. So I get it. And some of you spent your last dime to be here. Some of you spent money that you didn't even have to sit in these seats. Honor yourself. I used to always tell my sister I couldn't afford things, or I couldn't be at events, or I couldn't do this, and I was so tired of saying that. I was so tired of comparing myself. I was so tired of quitting. Two and a half years ago, I moved back from California to New Jersey. I remember I was driving from Marina Del Rey to Playa Vista on the phone with my father. I was on the way to sign my next lease. And we were on the phone, and my father's health had been declining. I never in my life heard him cry. He was on the phone crying to me. So I made a decision in that moment that I was moving home. Ever since then, my father's health has declined even more. And I watched this guy who worked 7 days a week, I'm so my father's daughter, go from being this really amazing Marine. Yeah, thank you for your service, everyone out there. Marine go from being strong to wearing diapers. And just about a year ago, my mother's health started declining. And I don't think I've been in more emergency rooms, hospitals, doctors, retirements, rehabs in my entire life than I have in the past 2.5 years. And I feel like my sister and I have become caretakers, literally what seems like overnight. And you know, I'm human. I get in my car sometimes and I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know how to do this. Are there any caretakers in the audience? And I sometimes feel sorry for myself, and I don't even want the phone to ring because I'm afraid of like what the news is going to be this time. And anytime, and I also want to say, do you know that I reached out to some of the leaders here who I met in Isogenics for support. Like, I'm so grateful. And those of you know who you are. And anytime I feel sorry for myself, I think of where I could have been. I could have been that girl still with the 7 W-2 forms, still bartending, still not able to have that freedom. I wouldn't be able to go to the doctors or learn about what my parents need. I don't even know where they would be if it wasn't for my sister and I helping them financially right now. And we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for network marketing. I also wouldn't have the opportunity to hear stories from my father. And this next one, I thought my father deserved some stage time. And he's talking about my mother and how she had no money when they met, and he bought her tons of shoes. And it's just the sweetest. So I would never experience this if I didn't have the time freedom. You play the video? Sorry.
She was in her room when I first started dating her. So I went out and bought her a pair of shoes, and then another pair of shoes, and then another pair. And she sees, she said, well, I said, come on, I said, you have no shoes. She, Mommy, can I tell you something? Mommy and Alexis and Michael, they had a beautiful relationship. But they had rough. And whenever I went over to Mommy's house, she always prepared a night, no matter how little she had always prepared something nice for the kids and me. Oh, do I love your mother.
9 years ago, at my very first celebration, Susan Sly stood on the stage and said, look to your left and look to your right because half of you won't be here next year. And it stuck with me, just like Jimmy Smith's comment stuck with me, because again, I used to quit, and I said, no, not this time. Not this time. Because some of you right now don't believe that you can do this. Some of you right now have voices in your head that's going to overtake you, and you're going to go home and you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to let those people keep you in the same place. Is this scary? Maybe. But what's the worst that can happen? If you can't do this for yourself, do it for you, what you don't know that you need. Do it for someone else. Guys, I want everyone to stand up because I want us to lock this in. Stand up, everybody stand up. Let's lock this in because I want you to go home a different person. Repeat after me. I stand here.
I stand here.
In my greatness.
In my greatness.